The 2025 wildfires are hitting Los Angeles harder than ever before. This is truly a historic event out here. And they're not just messing with the air quality, the landscapes, they're flipping the real estate market upside down with all the damage it's done to homes. As of the time of recording this video, they're at a total of 10,000 structures damaged, leaving thousands and thousands of families without a home that have lost absolutely everything. So now for anyone looking to buy, rent, invest, the fires are changing their entire lives, trying to figure out the next steps, where to live, where they're going to feel safe, what to prioritize, and how much they're willing to pay for fire insurance, which has been a major problem with this whole situation. We're going to break it all down here and see how this might change the landscape of the Los Angeles real estate market forever. But first, let's take a second to acknowledge how devastating and tragic this event is. I truly cannot even fathom it. It still hasn't even sunk in for me. It's really hard to process this whole thing and how many lives it's affected, how many people that I know, how many friends of friends have lost absolutely everything. Palisades was my favorite community, favorite area to just get away from everything. Didn't even feel like LA. It was so peaceful, clean. You had that community oriented feel. It was a place to just get away from LA while still being in LA. And I know a lot of people that think that the Palisades is just for the rich. Well, think about some of these people that worked 20, 30 years to finally build up their lives, their careers, save money to finally purchase a home in what they thought was the best community and neighborhood in the entire Los Angeles County. To then have all of their memories completely shattered in a day. Now, you have to have some empathy for these people that have been going through this. Can you imagine if that happened to you or the people closest to you in your lives? Well, to all those affected, my heart goes out to you. This is truly a heartbreaking incident. And for anyone watching that wants to help, also I'll have links down in the description below so you can at least show a little bit of support and some help to those affected. But all right, let's talk some numbers. So this wildfire has truly been next level, and it's going to go down in history as being one of, if not the biggest and most destructive wildfire that we've ever seen. Estimated total cost and damages, they're now saying about $150 billion. And the massive ones, you've got the Eaton fire in Pasadena, the Palisades fire, the Hearst fire up a little north in the valley. And some of these fires are popping up in areas that we've never really seen massive fires before. So they're still going to be investigating on some of these fires and the exact cause of them. And I'm going to continue to update you guys on exactly what the probable cause for these massive flare-ups in numerous areas are. I mean, some of them have already been labeled as arson. They've caught a couple of guys in the process, but some experts are saying that it is a combination of climate change, extreme drought, and the crazy winds we've been seeing out here. And 10,000 structures have burned. Think about 10,000 structures, homes, businesses, and others. And before the insurance companies even pay a dime, they have to send someone out to each property, inspect the property, write a report, and then send it back to the insurance company. And then the insurance company has to decide what and when it's going to pay out. And that's going to take who knows how long. And then they have to remove the debris from each structure, 10,000. To find the crews to remove the debris, that's going to be a project in itself. And the cost and the time of redesigning with the architects, the engineers, permitting time, there's a lot that needs to happen here. So it could take a while. And especially in the state of California, permitting for any building can take years. And there being thousands of permits to get filed. But what about the lumber, concrete, copper wiring, the plumbing supplies? There might be a nationwide shortage if they try to do this all at once. And that'll also, not to mention, drive up the prices on all those materials. But truly, taking it one day at a time, I think, is what needs to be done. And at least being optimistic here. So when it comes to LA and the real estate, it's forcing us to think about how we're exactly going to go about planning these neighborhoods and how we can protect them moving forward. So right now, buyers are definitely going to be hyper-focused on safety. What's important is defensible space, fire-resistant materials, because a lot of the homes that burnt down were not fire-ready, and a couple on every block seem to remain standing. And third is solid insurance policies, which a lot were canceled just before the fires. Last year, State Farm said that they were not going to renew 69% of the homes that they insured in the Pacific Palisades, and they said it was because of the long-term brush risk and poor management of the common areas, which is crazy. And it's interesting to see how this is going to affect the future of long-term insurance policies. And even if you do have fire insurance, it's not going to cover everything that you've lost. Most likely not even a majority, which is why this is truly just devastating and heartbreaking. The higher insurance costs combined with stricter building codes are going to be the reason that housing prices will drive up. And it may make it a little more difficult for lower and middle income families to afford real estate in these areas. And as people move away from the fire-prone suburban and rural areas, the demand in urban centers and the low-risk neighborhoods will obviously increase. So this could accelerate the gentrification and push out the longtime residents and drive up home prices and rents in these areas. I think the dream of living in the hills might not be as appealing moving on. The housing market is likely to adapt with innovations in the construction process to make everything more fire resistant. But I do think over time the city will be reshaping the infrastructure, and it's going to redefine the housing landscape, honestly, forever in the hills with the rebuild process moving forward. But LA can get back to what it was. And homes in high-risk areas such as the Hollywood Hills, the Santa Monica Mountains, they're going to be getting way less attention when it comes to looking for a home moving forward. We're already seeing a major increase in home rent prices, and it's only been a couple of days. But what's unfortunate is that a lot of these homeowners or sleazy people out there are spiking the rents 50% even, which is considered price gouging and illegal, but the demand is there and the supply is very low. So people are willing to pay a premium for these rent prices. So when looking for a new home and building, fire-resistant materials such as metal and concrete are going to be much more popular. If you do have fire insurance, you could be spending more on the insurance than on your mortgage, which who wants to do that? Which is why the less risky areas for a wildfire to happen will be a lot more popular in the future. And insurance costs will only continue to rise. So the rental market is going to be crazy moving forward from this, because now it seems a little risky purchasing a home in the high-risk areas. Moving forward is not going to be easy for anyone that lost their homes. The future outlook on these neighborhoods that have been burnt to nothing is going to be very interesting to see. Now, although there are a handful of homes that remain in the Palisades, it's lost its community, it's lost most of the grocery stores, the restaurants, the places that you'd be going every day, the schools. So why would you want to continue to build in that area if there's nothing to come back to? Or why would you want to move back into your home if you're the only one still standing when nobody else lives there? Where's the value in the Palisades now? Which is why this is going to be major for investors that purchase multiple lots in this area, because I'm sure some of the premium lots are going to be going for a lot less than we'd be expecting. So I don't know what we're going to be seeing moving forward, whether that's more high-end apartments being purchased by corporations, but the landscape of the Palisades has changed forever, even though I do think and hope that it will get back to somewhat what it was. It will never truly get back to the exact landscape and community that it did have. And that's just because all the old architecture, the character that each home had and built over time, families that were there for decades and decades, it's just really not going to be the same no matter how much is rebuilt there. But I hope there are some laws and rules that are going to be put in place to where it can't just be bought up by corporations or investors. And they are saying that the homes that burned down on PCH in Malibu cannot be rebuilt based off a couple of laws that have been in place. So the drive down PCH has now also changed forever. But for developers and for people that are cash heavy currently, which there are a lot out there, and are thinking about making a solid return on their investment, they can definitely lead the way. But you have to be smart about it. Think solar powered smart systems, smart fire detection tech, and landscaping that maybe actually can prevent or stop fires potentially. It's 2025. We have to have the technology or be moving in that direction to be able to stop some of these natural disasters that we know can happen. It's Los Angeles. We're not in the middle of nowhere. We know that we are prone to major wildfires. So how is there nothing in place to stop this from growing to 23,000 acres? But at the end of the day, it really just comes down to continuing to be optimistic, being thankful that a lot of these families are still alive and well for the most part. And although you have to start over, there is a point to where you have to get past the situation, move on, rebuild, and use it as a life lesson, truly. Although it is devastating and the lives of these people have completely changed, the real estate in Los Angeles has completely changed, we're going to see a lot that is different in this city moving forward. But as I'm recording this video, the fire is still going on currently. So I'll definitely have to see what we're going to be working with over the coming months and as real estate transactions take place in these areas. But at the end of the day, these wildfires are definitely a wake-up call to everyone. First off, how they vote, because I know politics has become huge in this situation, but it's forcing a lot of people to think maybe this isn't the right area for me to live. How can we rebuild metaphorically and physically and prepare for the future to prevent this next time? But the good news is, I always think with optimism and positivity, although this is a historic event that's going to change LA forever, it's just another challenge and we can get through all challenges. It will make this city stronger, in my opinion. I've already seen so much support and everyone gathering together. And Los Angeles is the city of hopes and dreams. And if that truly is the case, I think that we can build it up to get back to where it was and can be the city of hopes and dreams again. So what do you think the LA real estate market's going to look like in the next 5 years? Is nobody going to move to LA at all? Are corporations just going to buy up all the land? And as we're still in the middle of this wildfire situation, there's a lot of speculation as of what's going on, and we don't even really know what these areas look like yet. But I'll continue to update you guys on this channel. Thanks for watching till the end. See you next time.